I just want to show you this in reverse. I'm going to remove all of this so you can see what's underneath and then how it was installed, and then you can check out the rest of the installation in this video. So there's a key on the other side and it releases. It's just got a security post here that extends. And then this is actually zip tied right there at the bend in the crossbar. So I'm gonna leave it, but I'm just gonna set it off to the side. And these are 5mm screws. And then here are the rib nuts. And you can see that I tried to get them as flat as possible on the crossbar, and that worked. When the installation is in there, you can actually see a gap all the way across when this bar is installed. So I'm pretty happy about that. Got some pretty long screws. I did this for a variety of cradles, so it actually does work because the depth of the crossbar is nice for this one. So we have 2 stainless rib nuts in there, and then they're holding this e-bike battery cradle extension, so it brings it out over the curvature here. So right about here is where I know that I can get the flattest installation for the plate, and then it will support the battery as it rolls out over the top of this curvature. I have to be really careful about my seat, so I'm watching the front of the seat, so I want the battery to end up here. So it's a tight space. What I'm going to do is put a piece of paper down and then tape it to this, and then I'm going to measure off with my calipers the width, and then I will cut that in half to find center, and then eyeball everything from there. I'll bring the plate back. I'll do an install on the cradle and then remove it and then install it again and mark the holes for this, and then do center of the adjustable installation for the screws so I can move it up and move it down. And then hopefully we'll have a second battery to use this electric all-wheel dual battery discharge balance kit. So this is my aftermarket battery plate mount, and you can see it here. I've got it screwed on to the cradle right now. Notice that the screws go flush so that the battery can slide over. This is important if you have to buy screws for any of this stuff, so keep that in mind. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the battery on the cradle and then lay it down right here and see that it fits. Remember, I got to worry about my seat, and then I've got to worry about the cord placement as well and where that lays. And then I'm going to try and keep this portion to the frame of the bike so that I don't have to worry about putting a washer to offset because of the curvature in the frame. So right now I'm putting my plate as far down in the cradle as I can, and that's here. So I've got the least amount of space from the end here to the back side of the cradle. These will be the mounting points for the frame to battery cradle and mount. I like this position. I see that I have clearance here. I've got a gap up front. I've got the minimal amount of angle. Yep. So put that there. Get the markings down the middle of the circles that you see. And I'm just kind of pinching it on there and then looking at my previous marks to make sure that it's centered. And now I am marking my holes, and then what I'm going to do is right now pick the middle of those and it looks like that will work. What I have here is a rib nut set. I've got some 5mm screws that I purchased previously. I like to get them from Ace. I ordered these stainless rib nuts for the rib nuts that are here. Also got my bit. I know this is my bit. It is K in the value set. This is a metric set. It's a dual set actually, and I just got into it. I do not know the brand, and the guide is not there. So I know that this is the bit that I want to use. So what I can do, and zero this. $7mm. I am gonna drill a pilot hole, so just grab one. So I effed up. I did show you the bit size. What I forgot to do was turn on the camera. So I have a pilot hole that I've drilled out right here on center for what I marked. And then I'm gonna show you the drill out for this. This is a 7mm, which will allow the rib nut to fit in there. I'm out here in the shelf in an effort to capture my shavings. What I do is I just wrap this shirt around there and then drill out where I'm at. And then I just roll it over and catch them by hand. So this is the pre-drilled hole that I drilled on center for the markings of the oval. Before I pick up, I'm just going to test out a rib nut and make sure it sits. Perfect. Rib nut gun, what you do is you put your arms out because you got to squeeze them together to get it to work, and then roll your rib nut on there, place that in the hole, and then make sure it's seated correctly. And then you bring your arms together. From there, you release it, and then unscrew your rib nut gun, and you got it. We put the bend if at all, in this bar. And in doing so, we made it possible to allow extension without having any issues there. It feels pretty secure. I wouldn't off-road like terribly with this thing, but I'm giving it a good jiggle. And it's not. And I like the give so long as nothing breaks inside. So that means most of the stress is gonna be on the rib nuts. So there you have it. We already have this bike pre-wired. It is pre-wired with an electric all-wheel dual battery discharge balancer kit. So we're gonna put a balancer here. I'm gonna actually mark this out and make it black. So there's no real way to mess this up. I know that one line is from the battery and then the other is to the controller. And then what I can do is just match what's going on with my balancer. So we just plug this in. I know that this is out to the controller. So this means that this is one of the batteries. And then here's the other one. And then I would consider a bag placement somewhere, or perhaps this goes elsewhere. I know that I have another balancer or another battery, I think, that I might be able to fit in this space, and we would just add another balancer and get it in. Let me go ahead and prove to you this works. First, I got a friend coming over, so we're gonna go out. I'm not gonna leave the bike like this, but I wanted to show you guys what was possible. I like this setup with the battery, so. So right now, all I'm doing is securing this for the day. We're not going to be doing any kind of riding in rain, etc. These things are not meant for that anyway, so keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm probably going to put a band right here so it'll keep it from rolling down, and then I'll wrap it one more time. This thing is going to be awesome. So the guy that's going to be riding it, he's 6'5". I think he's closer to 300 pounds. So he's a big dude, and I want him to have as much fun as possible. I think there's going to be a lot of e-bike riding today and not enough time for charging. So this was good. The rib nut installation, I wanted that to be as flat as possible. So just the two, I found that extension, and I've used it before. I used it on the Himiway Zebra. So I got another one and wanted to try it out here. This battery does have a lock, so I'm happy about that. You also have the Himiway battery. What do we have here? I think this is a 15 amp hour battery, and the Himiway is 17.5 amp hours, so 32.5 amp hours on this bike right now. I'm pretty happy with it. We'll leave a link in the description for the previous video where we installed the dual battery discharge balance kit. We'll leave the link for the e-bike battery bottle rack mounting aluminum bar here, which we like it. It's simple, easy. We will leave a link for the electric all-wheel store for the dual battery discharge balance kit. go on the website, check out all the other videos, make sure that this is to your liking. We look forward to this. I don't know if we're going to catch video because I think we're going to go out and have a good time today and just enjoy the day. I'll try and get some shorts and we'll look through that. This bike, MagiCycle says that an approximate 25 watt-hours per mile at 20 miles per hour throttle only. So let's do that. We've got 15 plus 17.5 equals 32.5 times 48, 1560 divided by 25. So 62 miles this is supposed to get at 20 miles an hour throttle only. I'm gonna guess we're gonna back that off and say he might be able to get 40 to 50, and then that should cover the day. So we're pretty happy with that. Check out the other videos. Give us a like and subscribe here. If you're in the Tampa Bay area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. We need people in there making events, just getting involved in the group. It's a public group, so just go ahead and pop in, say hello, and then share your bike and share where you're from in the Tampa Bay area, and then let's try and get everybody together as reasonably as possible. We share links to events for other groups as well. We'll talk to you next time.